everyone, and welcome back to Galactic Reviews. This week we're reviewing episodes 8, 9, and 10 of The Bad Batch. In episode 8, we finally get the reunion with, which I actually think is the title of episode 8, Reunion, for Crosshair. So in that episode, Crosshair finds the rest of the Bad Batch and tries to capture slash execute them, in a way. I think he goes back and forth with that decision a lot. Then you have, at the end of episode 8, you meet Cad Bane, who steals Omega for, what's his name?
Lin Wei, something like that.
His name's not important, but you meet Cad Bane, who kidnaps Omega, goes on this wild goose chase to try to rescue said Omega, and you see some actually really cool fighting in that. I was really excited for that. And then in episode 10 is they put Omega on the bench, say, kid, it's not your time anymore. You had enough screen time. It's our time right now. And they had a mission, and that was about it.
However, I think the main point of 10 is that we found some pretty big plot points, development points for Omega's character that we'll discuss
you
later.
find that in between 9 and 8. I mean 9 and 10. So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, honestly, it was remembering it all.
It was a good
And
3
I can put
episodes.
the pieces together. It was really great. A lot of things make sense now. Still a little disappointed that they got rid of the inhibitor chips, but I mean, I still can't complain. What's done is done.
So, into more detail now into episode 8, they're still on the Junker planet.
Yeah.
And they notice that the Junkerers have spotted them and are kind of like tailing
Scrappers Guild. Yeah, whatever.
Junkerers. They spotted them being spotted, and so they hunted them down, but they realized that they probably got the cops called on them because they're wanted men. And so now they're trying to scrap up what they can to pay their debt off to, what's her name?
Sid.
And then all of a sudden, Crosshair shows up with a whole brigade of stormtroopers, and he's like, I'm going to get you. And now they're trying to escape. And it's a whole game of cat and mouse where it's like, we're going to use our strategies. And Crosshair's like, I know your strategies. And so he's catching them at every dead end.
To watch this episode, you can find out how he becomes Prince Zuko.
Oh, Zuko. Yes.
You can realize, you can find a reason to watch this because he becomes Prince Zuko.
There you go.
Get that once you watch the episode. But I think that has to be my favorite. My next favorite scene will be seeing
what happened. Yeah. Does he get completely healed, or does he have scars from that? Jump to next episode. They get away somehow. You find out yourself. And then, because obviously there's a next episode. And they're just on a mission, I think. No, they're not. No. Hold on. No. They almost got away. They didn't get away. They almost got away. And then some Batman villain from the Clone Wars shows up and is like, she's mine now, and in his cowboy goodness.
Oh, yeah.
And not surprisingly, just disappointingly beats Hunter in a shootout easily. Takes Omega, and then runs off, and now we're on a goose chase trying to get Omega back from Bane. And honestly, Omega did more of the work for her rescue than her actual rescuers did.
What are you talking about?
So we get some more Bane and his robot shenanigans, and then we go to... I don't remember much about episode 10, honestly.
Except
for the
10 was... they put Omega on the sideline, said, hey, kid, it's not your time right now.
And this is the one where they went...
screen time. Let us have some guy time.
Yeah, and the rest of the Bad Batch, except Crosshair, went and helped us rescue a separatist senator from being imprisoned by the Empire.
Right. That's right. Do we want to talk about the big twist that came up with Omega now?
We can.
His
yeah,
most
sure.
prized vase.
I don't have much other thoughts, unless anyone else has other thoughts before the big twist.
No, I think it was all these episodes, especially 9 was just knowledge drop, but it was done with a relatively well way where it was knowledge and then also some action scenes mixed in with it instead of just completely maybe some action for like the first 5 minutes and then knowledge for the rest of it, essentially. So they did a really good job of spacing it all out and making it not feel like you're just getting an overabundance of knowledge and very little action in the series, as well as a good story arc all throughout. So
Yeah, it was a good balance.
Yeah. Now, to answer Andrew's question, I'll just say it. We learned Omega is amazing at chess, space chess.
Yes.
Absolutely phenomenal.
But this now goes back to like 2 or 3 episodes ago for us of our videos, us theorizing why Omega is special, because we are now getting Bane fought the bounty chick. The bounty chick showed up and she's like, no, she's mine. And they had a 10-minute fight that lasted forever.
That was the longest fight.
This isn't Dragon Ball. Of just the bounty hunter face off of like, no, it's my money. No, she's my money.
I've known her longer.
But these bounty hunters are constantly coming after Omega, and so you're starting to see how important Omega is to the Kaminoans, and at the end of 8, and it's explored more in 9. At the end of 9 and explored more in 10, we find out exactly why she's important.
Which, out of curiosity, how old do you think Jango is now?
Well, Jango's dead.
I mean, not Boba.
Boba, well, let's see. He would be...
I didn't mean Jango.
At the beginning of the Clone Wars, it would be about...
I'd say he's like 15, 16.
8 years, and then you go throughout all the Clone Wars. He's about 8 at the beginning of 3.
So, do you think
I would say he's at least 14 or 15.
Yeah, because he looks kind of like 12-ish in the Clone Wars movie.
Do you think he'll show up to attempt to do a bounty on her?
My sister.
Well, there is some theories going on about this thing.
Still be in training?
Well, there was one arc in the Clone Wars where it was Boba Fett in his full armor, in his full dad's armor, but he painted it himself, making it his own.
Yeah.
And he duels Cad Bane, and presumably that's how Cad Bane dies, and that's how Boba gets his dent in his helmet.
We haven't actually said what the development was, which I've been waiting long enough till we can say spoiler territory.
Yes.
But Omega is not some like genetically like enhanced or modified like the Bad Batch. She is actually the only remaining 100 like pure first generation clone, other than Boba. So she's technically Jango's like pure daughter, essentially, and Boba's sister.
Yeah, she's essentially like Boba. Just the only thing that seems to be altered is that she is a female. However, that could very well change as the plot moves on. But as far as we know, it's just pure Jango Fett.
So that explains how she's got some of the knack for certain things.
Now, I do have a question. Did what's his name? Goggles. What's his name?
Tech.
Thanks. He seemed like he knew this the whole time.
He did.
Oh, you didn't know why she was important? Oh, let me tell you why.
Yeah.
One of those situations, just like, you didn't ask.
He's like 10 steps ahead, but he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot you couldn't keep up.
Pretty much. So I'm too intellectually advanced for all of you. And then it's kind of expanded upon in 10, where she's just a genius strategist with Djarik, is what it's called. It's the holographic chest or hollow chest, Djarik. She's a genius at it. It's the one that, if you don't have visuals.
You'll never see the final game. Who wins? Who loses?
Omega always wins.
What are you talking about? She was up against Hunter.
We don't see who wins between her and Hunter.
I can see Wrecker just showing up and breaking the table. Hunter was about to win and he just rips the table up.
Yeah.
He just trips and crashes the table.
There you go.
Whoops.
Oops, sorry. Did you see that disappointed look Wrecker gave Hunter when he
Oh
was so
yeah,
angry at Omega? I'm like, dude, he is a real uncle.
It's like the stepdad and the fun uncle,
Yes, 100%.
the actual parent with responsibilities, and then the fun uncle
And
being
then you
like, "Come
have
on."
Tech, who's like, do I really care?
No, no, he does not.
And Echo's just there for a ride. I'll be honest, he's just there.
I mean, after all the crap he's gone through already, he needs to be there for the ride. To be honest.
100%. But would really enjoy seeing Boba and Omega fight. At least if once she actually has some skills
Yeah.
in training. That
I
would
mean,
be
she can
kind of
shoot her
cool.
bow now.
Yeah.
She helped out with the reunion
And
thing.
she paid off all of the debt for Sid.
Well, not only that, she was slinging arrows at people.
She was.
Yeah.
She's turned into a gunslinger, but I mean, genetically, how can you be surprised?
We only got 6 more
6
episodes
episodes.
left. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Will
Six.
Omega
A
make
lot.
it to the end? Will
Honestly, a
Boba
lot
come
can
and
happen.
offer? We
A
don't
lot
know.
can happen in those 6 episodes. I mean, you got dropped that huge information
Yeah.
in a short span of time. Still disappointed in Crosshair. Always disappoints me every time he meets up with them. I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, but he was super thought out through this one.
I mean, he was, but still, I mean, let's be honest, Crosshair. You have one job, and it's just to shoot people from a long ways away. Just do that.
And you decided to go up that close to the engine. Yeah, I see your point.
He's like, hold on, guys. Let me get in close. I'm not one for hand to hand, but I'll
You're
do
a
it.
sniper.
I'll
I mean,
do
he's
it.
pretty good hand to hand, but
He's better than Tech and maybe Echo. And that's only because Echo only has one hand.
Listen,
I
he'll
would think
do.
Tech would be decent at hand to hand.
The real thing was Hunter should have just had Tech face Omega. If she can beat Tech, I think she's good.
Also, there were some interesting things which I wish Jack was here for us to talk about it, but I'll go ahead and somewhat bring him up. So there was like a few things that was interesting, like when Rex said at the end of 7 that he was going to go off to see possibly some other contacts. You guys hinted that it was possibly Ahsoka.
Obviously, it's Ahsoka.
Well,
Obviously.
I think
I
it's
don't
actually
really
some
care.
other.
Honestly, I hate Ahsoka. I hate her in everything she stands for. No one can
Okay,
persuade me.
all right. I won't disavow that. Okay, so there was a few different things that were interesting from these 3 episodes. In 8, Crosshair got some of that ion radiation from the
No
repulsor
spoilers. No,
engines.
no.
What?
We can't spoil how he becomes Prince Zuko.
Well, you guys already did. So,
No, we didn't. We just said he becomes Prince Zuko. We didn't say how.
well, people have speculated that this will either damage his eyesight, making him almost
Ah,
Well, it was
ah.
only one eye, and you only need one eye to be a sniper.
true. But people have speculated that this will damage his eyesight and hinder him from being more helpful and being more of the reason why they phase out clones into stormtroopers relatively quickly. Another thing is that this will also the radiation from the engine burn will damage his chip and revert him back to the old crosshair, and he'll
That would
slowly
that
start
would be
struggling.
100% too easy, and I'll be
Yeah, I
absolutely
know,
disappointed
which would be
if
an
they do
easy
that.
out, which would be
It
an
would
easy
be.
out, but it would it would be a slow burn thing that you could do over the next well, I guess now next 6 episodes.
Yeah.
And also it could also explain another reason as to why they go from, instead of just clones, right into humans right off the bat, because they are faulty. As for Omega finding out that she is a essentially almost a non-altered clone of Boba Fett, except for, say, the female chromosome, it seems. I think I said this last time, that it seems to be that she is the failsafe plan, just in case Django dies, which he did in episode 2, and if Boba disappears or also dies, which he kind of did throughout the whole Clone Wars. So she's the failsafe because they knew Jango's genes were dissipating and dissolving and deteriorating away. So they needed another. You okay, Andrew?
You said his genes were dissolving, and it reminded me of a prank I saw where you can buy
Dissolving genes.
pants that dissolve in
No, I've
water.
seen
So
it.
people
Yep.
will do this with like bathing suits.
Yep.
And like set up this elaborate plot where they're like, we're gonna go swimming, but their friend's like, oh, I didn't bring a bathing suit, and it's like, oh, I've got an extra, and they give them the dissolving pair. They just let them go into the water, and then 5 minutes later they come back and they're like, hey.
Help. Yeah.
That's
So
funny.
that's why I was laughing about dissolving. His jeans were dissolving
Hey
because
Andrew,
I went, oh, no.
don't tell Payson I got him a pair.
So back to Omega's reasoning for being created.
Go ahead.
Omega is probably just the failsafe for if Jango and Boba die. So that's what.
Now, why was it again that they chose Jango?
Because it paid.
Fair enough. I mean, they could have chose any other bounty hunter.
Yeah, well, essentially, from apparently all the things said in Republic Commandos, and from what I can understand to be in canon, was that it paid decently well, and all he wanted from it was money and a son, and it was essentially just a job to him. The only benefit was actually like getting a son. With that episode, it was fun to see Cad Bane come back. I wish for the Fennec Shand and Cad Bane fight, I would have liked to have seen it be more of a draw instead of it seeming more like Cad Bane got more of the beating on that one.
I'll be honest, she was probably a bit more prepared than he was.
True, but this guy is also a legend in fighting.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he
And
was
even then
skilled
at
in
the
killing clones.
beginning, he was. They already said that he was probably going to win, anyway. So, I just would have liked to have seen more of a draw instead of it seeming like more so that he was losing his edge, which maybe that could be a lead into
His death. I mean, it could
his
be.
death, possibly. So,
I mean, he has aged. But then again, I don't know how long his race lives for.
yeah, because I think he's not Chiss. I don't know what race he is, but I don't know
I
how
don't
long
know.
they
I,
live
I
either.
mostly I mostly love his persona and the way he talks so slow and calm. You don't want to do that.
You just like cowboys.
Yes, I do.
I won't be a cowboy.
I've watched a lot of Western movies.
I found it funny that the one mission that Omega doesn't go on is one of the more successful missions. I think it's like one of the two so far
I
that has
think
been successful.
my favorite line is, what is it? Tech Omega, you go around the back, and Tech's like, well, that would work if we had Omega, and I'm
That
like,
would be impossible, considering that Omega is not a part of this mission, you know.
I honestly, I love Tech so much. Shoot, what's his name? Goggles. What's his name?
Jack would have really liked this because there is a reference in episode 8 to Republic Commandos, the video game with the visor and everything when Hunter is down and Wrecker and Tech and Echo are all getting him on the ship. So it was a good reference that way. I know you said it was funny, Zach, that he was telling Hunter was telling Omega to not worry, that he will always protect her as he has a shot in his shoulder
Yeah.
and he is badly wounded.
Get a medic! Which surprised me. They actually don't have a medic on their squad.
I
Well, I guess
think
unless you want to consider Omega as the medic. I
I
mean,
think
that's kind of what she was trained for.
I think what she would have been more suitable for is the strategist, and from what we've seen in episode 10, would have been more the strategist, like in the bridge of the Vendor class star cruisers,
Hmm.
where they are overseeing the whole battlefield and being able to.
Yeah.
whereas Hunter is already kind of good at that already.
He's just an all-rounder.
Yeah, but Omega is exceptionally good at that, whereas Hunter, like you said, is more all-round and different. All right.
I'm being honest. He's basic compared to the rest of them. What's your ability? I can hunt things better.
Well, also that he has that
That cool tattoo
no,
that
he also
covers
has
half of his face.
no, he has the ability where he can sense different things due to the electricity of the body or something. He can sense, forget what it's called, but he has like echo datakinesis or something like that, where he is able to sense things and make sure maps are correct for every mission that he goes on. When he goes down, he can sense when people are near, which is why when he, in the first episode, he's able to sense when Omega is behind him.
Cool.
Yeah, it's sad that he doesn't get to use that a lot, or that
So what
isn't
you're
seen to be
telling
used.
me is he has spidey senses.
Pretty much. I mean, not quite, but
I
to
need him to.
some point.
I need him to become the next Spider-Man. I think he would do a great job.
Yeah, no, all three episodes were relatively well done. Not much I would change. Every one of them had some more character development or plot development.
I'll be
Or
honest. The only person that I don't think has had any development at all is Tech.
I'm trying to think because I like Tech a lot.
But I don't think he's had any character development at all.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, that's pretty much true.
Everyone else has, except
He
for
doesn't
Tech.
have character development. He has software upgrades.
You have
Yeah,
a
that's a
point.
good point. No,
You
that
have
would
a
be
point.
Echo.
Okay. Reboot.
Wait, I mix them up in my head. Okay.
I mean,
maybe Tech just gets a new pair of goggles and he can see everything.
There you go.
sorry, I fogged up my lenses.
Maybe in one episode Tech loses his goggles and he has to go through the whole mission blind.
And he gets a newfound respect for the world.
Maybe that is episode 11.
He
Lost
loses 200
goggles.
IQ. He loses 200 IQ points because he doesn't have his goggles.
So anything else?
Nope, I don't think so.
Don't forget to
It
like
just
and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. All right, we'll wrap it up. Who's doing outro?
peace out.